turn your back like the story's done. But I still stood there, facing the sun. No angry words, just empty space. Love left your eyes without a trace. You didn't ask me how I feel. You moved on like it's no big deal. But I stayed up through every night, trying to understand what wasn't right. And I knew deep in my soul the only way was letting go. Still I said goodbye, though it tore my heart in two. Still I walked away, even when I needed you. You were silent, I was loud, saying all the things I'm not allowed. Still I said goodbye, even though you never tried. I practiced lines I never say, in hopes you care enough to stay. But love should never beg or plead, so I gave you what you didn't need. You smiled like nothing broke apart, but I was bleeding from the start. Sometimes strong means letting go, even when it hurts you so. Still I said goodbye, though it tore my heart in two. Still I walked away, even when I needed you. You were silent, I was loud, saying all the things I'm not allowed. Oh, still I said goodbye, even though you never tried. The rain fell down, but I stood tall. A quiet end, no curtain call. You didn't love me, and that's why. Still I said goodbye. Still I said goodbye. I never say, in hopes you care enough to stay. But love should never beg or plead, so I gave you what you didn't need. You smiled like nothing broke apart, but I was bleeding from the start. Sometimes strong means letting go, even when it hurts you so. Still I said goodbye. My hands not holding tight. Ooh. Still I walked alone, fading softly into night. You just watched, didn't cry, but I knew it was time to fly. Still I said goodbye. You didn't say goodbye. You smiled like it meant something real, but I could tell by how you feel. You said we're fine, like it's a script, but your love's already slipped. I waited in the quiet nights for words that never came, and every touch just felt polite, no passion in your name. You said everything was fine, but you weren't. I stayed trying to fix what you wouldn't. I believed the lines you drew, but I was loving more than you. You said everything was fine, but you weren't. I held on while your heart let go, pretending not to know. You made me feel like I was wrong for holding on I kept dancing in your quiet goodbye. Now I'm done being blind. I deserve someone who tries. You said everything was fine, but I cried. And I won't fix the cracks you made. I'll find peace in my own way. Goodbye to all your quiet lies. This time I'll be fine. Without a warning, like the wind that fades at night. I whispered all my prayers to the stars that lost their light. I still wear your memory like a dress, stitched with hope and tenderness. But I still believe in love, even when the sky won't clear. I still believe in us, though your voice is just a tear. Time may take your shadow, but it can't steal my dreams of a heart that still believes. The photographs are fading, but I see your eyes in mine. And every song that finds me feels like fate's secret sign. Time may take your shadow, but it can't steal my dreams of a heart that still believes. Photographs are fading, but I see your eyes in mine. And every song that finds me feels like fate's secret sign. I still feel you in the rain, dancing gently through the pain. Yes, I still believe in love, even when the world turns cold. I still believe in us, though your hand I'll never hold. Time may move without you, but my soul won't ever leave. A heart that still believes. The photographs are fading, even when the world turns cold. I still believe in us, though your voice is just a tear. Time may take your shadow, but it can't steal my dreams of a heart that still believes. Maybe we were meant to break, to learn how much a soul can take. But every crack in me still sings of you and all the love you bring. I still believe in love, though this silence softly grieves. I still believe in us, in the story no one sees. Even if forever was never ours to keep, I am still the heart that believes. And I believe, the heart that still believes. We stood on the flickering lights, your hands too cold, your smile too tight. You said we've reached the final page, but I was still inside the stage. You whispered maybe this is best, while I still wore your beating chest. You left me dancing with the dark, a love that only left a mark. I wanted more than goodbye, more than silence in your eyes. I needed reasons, I needed time. You gave me distance wrapped in lies. You turned and walked while I still tried. I wanted more than goodbye. You packed your words and closed the door. I begged for less pain, not more. I held on like it wasn't done. You slipped away like morning sun. Your shadow lingers in my sleep, in every promise you didn't keep. I won't chase your fading light. I won't beg to hold you tight. You left me broken, but I see I lost you long before you left me. I wanted more than goodbye, more than tears I had to hide. I needed closure, not this fight. You vanished like the morning tide. You said nothing, not even why. I wanted more than goodbye. Now I walk where we once stood, alone but free, and that feels good. I loved too much, but I survived. I wanted more, but I'm still alive. You held me close, but never tight. Your arms were warm, your heart was ice. I traced the words you didn't say. You loved me wrong and walked away. I gave you all my honest light, but you just faded out of sight. You forgot to love me somewhere between the lies and truth. You forgot to need me like I was never a part of you. Now I'm standing in the silence of what we used to be. You remembered everything except to love me. I watched you drift like autumn leaves. Your promises fell piece by piece. You used to look at me and smile. Now all you do is pass me by. I beg the sky to make you stay, but even stars just fade away. You forgot to love me somewhere between the lies and truth. You forgot to need me like I was never a part of you. Now I'm standing in the silence of what we used to be. You remember everything except to love me. Was I too much or not enough? You said forever, was that bluff? I wrote your name in every prayer, but you forgot I was ever there. While I was learning how to breathe, you forgot to see me while I was breaking underneath. Now I'm stronger in the silence than I ever thought I'd be, and I'll never let someone forget to love me. So goodbye to who you used to be, and the girl who begged you to love me. You never heard the way I prayed for one more word for you to stay. I whispered hope in empty rooms, still held on tight along with truth. You smiled like nothing broke inside while I was drowning in goodbyes. I loved you in the silence when no one saw the tears I cried. I loved you in the quiet where all the pain was hard to hide. While you were busy letting go, I stayed behind with all I know, that I loved you in the silence. Your laughter echoed down the hall. I used to think I had it all, but love can't bloom in shade and fear. When no one saw the tears I cried, I loved you in the quiet, where all the pain was hard to hide while you were busy letting go. I stayed behind with all I know, that I loved you in the silence. One day you'll turn and search for me in songs I wrote you silently, but I'll be gone with all the rain, learning how to feel again. I loved you in the silence, but silence never set me free. I loved you in defiance of all the ways you let me bleed. Now I am done with waiting slow for someone who won't ever know that I loved you in the silence. Now I'm learning how to speak without you next to me. I stood while we said goodbye, umbrella down under the sky. The world moved on like you weren't gone, but my heart knew all along. I held your sweater to my face, pretending it was your embrace. You left me in the rain, no shelter, just the pain. Your promises washed down the street like leaves beneath my feet. You never said a word, but silence somehow hurt. You left and I remained alone in the rain. Your coffee cup is on the shelf, still whispering what I tell myself, that maybe you'll be back one day. The lies are easier that way. I write your name on fogged up glass, but nothing real can ever last. You left me in the rain, no shelter, just the pain. Your promises washed down the street like leaves beneath my feet. You never said a word, but silence somehow hurt. You left and I remained alone in the rain. Your coffee cup is on the shelf, still whispering what I tell myself, that maybe you'll be back one day. The lies are easier that way. I write your name on fogged up glass, but nothing real can ever last. You left me in the rain, no closure, just the stain of memories too loud to bear, of love that vanished into air. You didn't even turn, you watched the fire burn. You left, I felt the chain, still wrapped in the rain. I begged the sky to understand why love dissolves just like the sand. You slipped right through my trembling hands, and now I drown in where we stand. You left me in the rain, no goodbye, no explain. A kiss that never reached my cheek, a vow that died before the week. You walked into the blue while I held on to you. Now all that does remain is me in the rain. Someday the storm may fade, but tonight I miss the weight of you in the rain. I packed my bags, but not my pain. Left your keys out in the rain. You stood in silence, didn't speak. Your love was always paper thin and weak. I tried to hold what wouldn't stay. Loved you more with each delay. I left my heart at the door. Couldn't carry it anymore. You never knew what it was for. You just watched me hit the floor. Now I'm walking without war, but I left my heart at the door. You called it love, I called it loss. Buried myself beneath the cost. You never asked if I was fine, only loved the parts that shine. I smiled through the quiet screams, dying slowly in your dreams. I left my heart at the door. It was bruised and growing sore. You never stayed to fight the storm, just drifted off to something warm. Now I'm done keeping the score, so I left my heart at the door. It's not goodbye, it's letting go of someone you'll never know. The love that bloomed behind closed eyes, the girl you left, the endless tries. I left my heart at the door, but not my soul, not anymore. I'm walking out, I'm not your chore. I found myself worth fighting for. No regrets, no need to restore, 'cause I left my heart at the door. And I won't be back anymore. You said forever, so I believed. Built castles out of words we weaved. Now I sit where shadows fall, making cranes that won't fly at all. Every fold a silent prayer, wishing you were still right there. Paper cranes and promises, scattered dreams and tear-stained wrist. I held on too long to yesterday. While your love slowly slipped away, all these fragile little things, wings of hope and wedding rings. You left a storm I can't dismiss, just paper cranes and promises. I traced your name 1,000 times, in every line 1,000 lies. Still I whisper in the dark, as if you hear a broken heart. I keep folding just to cope, threading pain into hope. Paper cranes and promises, memories sealed with trembling fists. The echoes of the words we swore now haunt this quiet room once more. Love was light, now it's mist, gone like dreams that don't exist. You left me with emptiness, and paper cranes and promises. They say let go, but how do I, when every fold still makes me cry? Paper cranes and promises, you stain love on fingertips. If you come back through that door, would we be what we were before? Or would we break like this? Just paper cranes and promises. Just paper cranes and all your promises. whisper in the dark, as if you'd hear a broken heart. Or would we wake like this? Just paper cranes and promises. Just paper cranes and all your promises. Heart in pieces, you took them like they were whole. Every smile you gave felt easy, but now the silence takes its toll. I replay the words you never said like echoes in an empty hall. You reached for me in shadows, but never caught me when I fall. It's not the way you left me, it's the way you let me fall. Like love was just a whisper that never meant it all. You held me with your absence, you kissed me with the wall. It's not that you were leaving, but the way you let me fall. I painted us in colors you never learned to see. You danced around the truth, but never danced with me. You lit a spark inside my chest and watched it burn alone. I searched for you in mornings that turned my heart to stone. It's not the way you ended, it's how you watched me break. Love me like a story that wasn't yours to take. You vanished in the quiet before I risked it all. It wasn't just the silence, but the way you let me fall. You could have said it hurt you, you could have tried to stay, but some hearts just get colder when they're too afraid to stay. It's not the way you left me, it's the way you let me go. Without a single warning, without a chance to know. I gave you every heartbeat, you never heard them call. Now all that I remember is the way you let me fall. The way you let me fall. You said I'll call when I know what to say, but the phone stayed quiet every day. I waited with the hope too loud. In a world where you don't come around, I read our texts like holy lights, trying to find a reason why. But silence screamed but you couldn't speak, and it tore the ground beneath my feet. When the silence answered you, I knew it answered me too. No more lies, no soft pretend, just the quiet truth in the end. You didn't say goodbye aloud, but your silence was too proud. So now I know it's true, you were gone when the silence answered you. I replayed your voice till the tape wore thin, hoping to feel you breathe again. But replace the real, and ghosts don't care how I feel. The stars don't blink when hearts break slow, and time won't ask which way you'll go. But I still beg the midnight blue to give me one last piece of you. When the silence answered you, I knew it answered me too. No more lies, no soft pretend, just the quiet truth in the end. You didn't say goodbye aloud, but your silence was too proud. So now I know it's true. You were gone when the silence answered you. Maybe I deserve the final word, or maybe pain is what I earned. But it's the quiet that cuts deep, the things you never said to me. When the silence answered you, I finally heard the truth. It wasn't love, it wasn't fate, it was just too late. And I stood in that goodbye, now with tears but with dry eyes. You didn't have to choose, silence already spoke for you. So I'll whisper to the waves tonight, let them carry what we couldn't write. You disappeared without a clue, and I stayed when the silence answered you. You never heard the way I prayed when you were just a breath away. I traced your name on frosted glass, pretending time would never pass. You said love was something loud, but mine was whispered in the crowd. I held you close without a sound, while you kept chasing something proud. I loved you in the quiet, when no one ever knew, where silence said forever, and I gave it all to you. You looked for fire and thunder, but missed the gentle truth. I loved you in the quiet, and lost myself in you. You needed noise to feel alive, while I was drowning deep inside. You kissed like storms, then disappeared, and left your echo in my tears. I was the calm, a steady light. You were the star that burned too bright. You couldn't hear the way I stayed, when every word you spoke betrayed. I loved you in the quiet, when no one ever knew, where silence said forever, and I gave it all to you. You looked for fire and thunder, but missed the gentle truth. I loved you in the quiet, and lost myself in you. You never saw the way I broke behind the smiles I never spoke, and now the silence holds your name, but I don't cry the same. I loved you in the quiet, with everything I had. You never heard it breaking when it hurt too much to ask. Now you're chasing voices, but they don't sound like me. I loved you in the quiet, and that's where I set you free. In the hush of morning light, I let go without a fight. You never know what I went through, but I loved you in the quiet, and I'll never love like that again. I almost said your name came last night, but the silence begged me not to fight. So I kept my heart inside my hands and watched it break when no one stands. You left your words on every page, but none of them knew how to stay. I read between the lines too long. Now I know where I don't belong. You were the poem I never finished, the truth I whispered and you diminished. All that we could be got lost in what we didn't say. I was the song you left unwritten, the love you feared but never given. And now I walk away with words I'll never get to say. Remembers what we hid, each promise sealed and then unlit. I held my breath for one more sign, but you let go before the climb. I stayed through echoes, stayed through doubt, while you just waited to walk out. You found escape, I found the truth, but it was never meant for two. You were the poem I never finished, the truth I whispered and you diminished. All that we could be got lost in what we didn't say. I was the song you left unwritten, the love you feared but never given. And now I walk away with words I'll never get to say. Stayed and held me right, but this chapter ends with just my name, and nothing in your hands remains. You were the poem I never finished, the ghost inside a love diminished. We wrote in silence, line by line, but never crossed the final rhyme. I was the song you left unwritten, and still my heart remains forgiven. I'll let the story fade to gray and keep the tears I didn't say. Left unwritten when not Maybe in another life you would have stayed and held me right, but this chapter ends with just my name, and nothing in your hands remains. I was the song you left unwritten, and still my heart remains forgiven. I'll let the story fade to gray and keep the tears I didn't say. Ooh, left unwritten, but not unloved. You always loved with careful hands, afraid to feel, afraid to stand. I gave you truth, you gave me doubt, and every whisper turned to shouts. I stayed through storms you wouldn't name, hoping love would light the flame. Why do you love me when I leave? When the silence is all I receive, you let me go to feel the pain, then beg for me in falling rain. Why do your tears fall when I'm gone? When I was breaking all along, you only see me when I grieve. Why do you love me when I leave? You spoke in promises too thin, each one a place I'd never been. I begged for something more than maybe, but maybe's where you always stay. I built a home you wouldn't keep, you shut the doors and watched me sleep. Why do you love me when hides from light. But now I see the love I gave was more than you could ever brave. Now you love me as I fade, as shadows steal the past we made. I walked away to find my voice, and in that silence made my choice. So keep your sorry in the breeze. I'm done with loving on my knees. You only miss me when I bleed. Why did you love me when I leave? I'm not your echo anymore. This time I'm closing all my doors. I walk through halls we used to know. The lights still flicker soft and low. Your laughter lingers in the walls, but now there's silence when night falls. I touch the door you never closed, still waiting where the shadows froze. But I won't cry for echoes of before. No more reaching out to broken doors. You held my heart but not my hand, and I forgot where I could stand. Now I'm finding something more beyond the echoes of before. I wore the dress you said you loved. Now it just hangs a ghost above. The mirror shows a gentler face who's done with chasing what won't stay. You were the storm I tried to calm, but some goodbyes are quiet songs. But I won't cry for echoes of before. No more reaching out to broken doors. You held my heart but not my hand, and I forgot where I could stand. Now I'm finding something more beyond the echoes of before. I built a life outside your name, where pain no longer feels like blame. And in the quiet of the night, I found my way back to the light. No, I won't cry for echoes of before. I've closed the windows, locked the floor. You held my dreams in silent glass, but now I'm done reliving past. I've opened up a brighter door. No more echoes of before. I walk alone, but not afraid. Love lost, but peace has stayed. Your coat and I let it hang by the door, like you might come back again. Your voice still dances in this place, like echoes I can't erase. I told myself I'd be okay, but I still reach out anyway. I held on longer than I should, loved you harder than you ever could. You walked away and I stayed, but still I wish you stayed. The clock keeps ticking, but nights are slow. Every silence screams what I won't show. Your coffee cup untouched, alone, like me waiting by the phone. I tell my heart it's just a phase, but every dawn feels like a maze. I held on longer than I should, loved you harder than you ever could. You walked away and I stayed, but still I wish you stayed. I'm learning how to breathe without your name, but healing never feels the same. I smile but only halfway through, 'cause part of me still aches for you. I let go slower than the rain, but my tears still fall the same. You moved on like songs just fade, and still I wish you stayed. One day I'll forget this pain, but tonight I wish you stayed. I held my breath beneath the thunder, wishing you'd come back inside. But silence filled the space between us, and all I had were tears to hide. You said love was never easy, but you never said goodbye. Now I'm talking to the shadows and asking them why. When the rain held me, I knew what you forgot, the way my heart was breaking in every lonely thought. I cried into the silence you left inside of me, and found some kind of healing in the storm's gentle plea. I tried to write a final letter, but the words just wouldn't stay. Your ghost still lives in corners of the things I meant to say. You moved on like morning light, but I stayed in the night. Now the rain's my only witness to all I had to fight. When the rain held me, it listened without blame. It didn't try to fix me, just stayed and said my name. I whispered through the silence where you would never see that I'm stronger than I ever thought I'd be. Guide me, cry with me tonight, but I no longer need your light. I found my truth in broken skies and learned to love my own goodbye. When the rain held me, it taught me how to fall and rise again, no shatter, with nothing left at all. I walked out from the silence, tears washed out to sea. Thunder, finally free. When the rain held me, you let me be me. You be me. She loved like a passing song, beautiful but never long. I held her heart with both my hands, but love slips like ocean sand. She said she'd never walk away, but some promises decay. She forgot to stay, left in the middle of a Monday rain. All the words we said now washed away like footprints no one saved. I begged her eyes to turn around, but silence was the only sound. She forgot to stay, and I forgot how not to break. She smiled like she meant forever, but forever turned into never. I still wear her on my skin, like a scar carved deep within. I whisper please in every breath, but love can vanish like a death. She forgot to stay, left in the middle of a Monday rain. All the words we said now washed away like footprints no one saved. I begged her eyes to turn around, but silence was the only sound. She forgot to stay, and I forgot how not to break. Maybe she had reasons I can't know. Maybe love just learned to let me go. I search for her in dreams that fade, but every dawn rewrites her name. She forgot to stay, took all the light and none of the blame. Now I hold a house of empty space where her voice once filled the frame. And though I cried for her to stay, she disappeared in yesterday. She forgot to stay, and I forgot how not to ache. Some hearts are made to run away, and some are left to learn that pain is love that couldn't stay. You said I lit the sky for you, a wildflower in the morning dew. But seasons changed and so did we. You found the sun, but not with me. I watched you bloom in someone's light, while I fell quiet in the night. Now I'm standing where I used to bloom, in empty fields and they faded rooms. You walked away but left the rain, and all my colors turned to pain. The garden died but no one knew I was still rooted there for you. I saved your letters, every word, but now they sound like songs unheard. I gave you love like soft perfume. You left me wilting in this gloom. You grew so fast, so far, so free, but left your shadows here with me. Now I'm standing where I used to bloom, in empty fields and they faded rooms. You walked away but left the rain, and all my colors turned to pain. The garden died but no one knew I was still rooted there for you. I won't pretend I didn't break, or hide the ache I couldn't fake, but someday soon I'll find new ground where love won't pull me down. Now we're standing where I used to bloom. I'll rise again, not just resume. You were the storm, I was the sea, but now I grow for only me. And when they ask about the wound, I'll say that that's where I learned to bloom. Yes, that's where I learned to bloom.
Voice still calls. Through the silence I feel it all. Every memory we made still lingers on. Though you're gone, you're never gone. I'll hold your love until the morning comes. Through every shadow, every rising sun. Even when I stand alone, you're the light that leads me home. I'll hold your love until the morning comes. The stars above know what we share. A love so deep, so unprepared. Even in dreams you find your way to whisper words I need to say. I'll hold your love until the morning comes. The stars above know all we share. A love so deep, so unprepared. Even in dreams you find your way to whisper words I need to say. Until the morning comes. Through every shadow, every rising sun. Even when I stand alone, you're the light that leads me home. I'll hold your love until the morning comes. And if forever means goodbye, see you when I close my eyes. I'll hold your love until the morning comes. Through every sorrow, through all that's undone. Even when the night is long, your love will always keep me strong.